put them up here. Hi, everybody. It's the Greg and Gigi show and special guest Mattison. This is my daughter. And Mattison is getting a lot. Well, we're not live. We are recording because we're having technical difficulties. But she's getting a facial today. And I'm going to record it and we're going to have some fun. And Mattison is a student at Aveda. And they're going to be talking about stuff that we might not know what they're talking about. But I want to get some ideas about cleaning brushes and stuff too. Madison's really good at that stuff. So I'll be behind the camera, but I'll be here.
I'm putting a Facebook thing out there to say technical difficulties. We're not going live.
Okay.
It's going to take me forever.
Are you putting it on your profile or on the page or the group? Okay. That'll work. And I'm just going to move over here.
Okay, I'm almost.
So say hi to everybody, Madison.
Hi. Oh, hi.
There you go.
Hi.
And there's Gigi.
Just give me one little thing. Oh, this is kind of funny. I have a sock. Oh, here. A shoe.
Uh-huh.
And a sock.
A shoe and a sock.
I stepped on my toe wrong. It hurts. I can't put a shoe on it, but I'm not missing a chance to wear these shoes.
Because it's all about the shoes.
Oh, it is. Always.
Now, Mattison, if I can say this correctly, is good friends with Marilyn Monroe at Universal Studios, right, Mattison?
I am.
And one of the things,
So cool.
Gigi, have you ever heard the saying that Marilyn Monroe said that what is it, Madison? All a girl needs is?
It's give a girl the right pair of shoes and she can conquer the world, something like that. Elizabeth Taylor actually said that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, Marilyn didn't say it.
No, there are a lot of stuff that she didn't
I'll
say
tell
that's
you.
quoted to her. That even her estate says that she said it when
She
did
didn't.
it. There's
Well-
actually a really good Instagram page called Fake Marilyn, and they show you all of the real quotes and fake quotes.
Cool. Well, what are you doing now, Gigi? What are we doing?
Right now, I'm re-disinfecting my hands or my gloves.
Okay.
So Madison struggles with some spotty blemishes.
Uh-huh.
She doesn't have full-blown acne, but she does have some breakouts, sometimes on her forehead, sometimes on her chin. And if you know anything about face mapping, is that what you call it in school?
Mm-hmm.
Face mapping. So if it's on the chin, oftentimes it's hormonal. Don't ask me why, because I've been taught that, but I can never really explain why. Why is that? Do you know?
Not
They taught you didn't take that.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the time the reason we have acne in different areas, especially on our forehead, with stress is because we're like this. So if you're touching, it's gonna.
So it's the oil and the sweat from your
Yes.
hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever else is on your hands.
Yeah.
So we have to keep our hands off our face. Not that Madison's doing that because she's in esthetician to be soon, so she knows. But anyway, so we're going to do a second treatment. So last time she was here, which was about 3 weeks ago, I did an oxygen treatment, which I love those treatments because they it's an oxygen treatment that is it's timed, it's very precise timed measurements. So you're not going to get too much oxygen into the skin, and you're not going to get too little. And it's actually made up of magnesium peroxide, not hydrogen peroxide.
Ah.
And that will calm the skin down beautifully, and it also, of course, fights bacteria. So we did that. Her skin is there's not the, I can tell you that she has some makeup right now, but her skin is not as red and as irritated. Have you noticed that? That it's not quite as irritating?
Yeah.
So that was the goal. And now today, I think, I'll know before I get in here, I think I'm going to do a peel. Probably a salicylic peel of 12.5% salicylic peel, and the pH is a 2.0. So it's a low pH, so it's going to penetrate. And the salicylic is a BHA, so it's a beta hydroxy acid, and it's a derivative of willow bark or aspirin.
Really?
Synthetic acid.
So this peel you're going to do, there are different types that people will go to a doctor and they'll get like this supersonic peel
They
and
will,
like
yeah.
their face will literally peel off.
It does. It's called some
Not
of
all
them,
of it, just the top layers.
just the top layer,
Yeah.
and it looks fabulous afterwards. I don't do that. Even if I was in a doctor's office, I probably wouldn't do that. They can do so. Those are phenol peels and very high levels of TCA peels,
Uh-huh.
and it's called skin death. the skin actually turns
wow.
It turns brown.
Really?
And it just
comes off.
Yeah. Or you can have a peel that is very a really low pH and generally with a glycolic. Now, that's an alpha hydroxy acid, and they're pretty aggressive.
What do you say to people who go, well, why don't I just go outside and get a sunburn because then my face will peel off?
Because the chemicals aren't getting into there. So because you're going to have, that's very funny. Because you're going to have hyperpigmentation, and you are going to age the skin terribly.
Yeah.
And you're not having a chemical getting in there to what? Change the structure of the skin. Yeah.
And that's the goal. Now, if you notice, Mattison has made a goal for the last few years. She avoids the sun as much as she possibly can.
Her skin is beautiful. It's porcelain beautiful skin. So here's the thing about the sun. 10, 15 minutes a day is kind of necessary in a way because we have to have that vitamin D. But we want to do that before 10 or after 4.
So it's not so strong.
It's not so strong. And we didn't know 30, 40 years ago.
Right. Now what you're doing now, you're just taking her makeup off, is that right?
Yeah.
Mattison had a gig this morning up in Jacksonville, Florida.
At 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
7
o'clock. She's been up since 4.
Yeah, she started at 7 and she had a 2-hour drive.
Yep, there and back. Then 2 hours back.
Yeah.
So we're going to do another cleanse. Just because she has on show makeup and we have to get it all off. Oh, we're going to have a storm.
We are going to have a storm. Now, as far as makeup goes, Mattison, tell everybody what you look for in a makeup because she's very particular about the type of makeup she uses.
Well, it kind of depends if you're looking for like everyday makeup or if you're looking for stage makeup. For stage makeup, or if you have very oily skin, I like the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. It's extremely long wearing and it's very, very pigmented, but it's not thick. It's pretty light average.
Cool.
And her makeup is always perfect. And you have lots of different styles too that you have to do. Where did you learn all of that?
Myself.
I said
from watching videos like this.
I said to Greg earlier, they don't you love these kids with a work ethic, which she does. Yeah, and that's great.
Well, I'm digging this because we've got 2 generations of showbiz right here in front of you right now. Because Gigi was a performer for many years.
30.
30 years? Yeah.
Well, my first gig was at Six Flags, and I was 19.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was great. Six Flags are Mid-America. Hi, boys.
Is it still there? Is that one still there?
Yeah.
Very cool. And then Gigi and I met in 1989, almost 30 years now. Next year will be 30 years at Boardwalk and Baseball, and we performed a show called 2 shows. One we did together called Super Bowl of Sports Trivia, and the other, we worked together one night, but it was just like going over the show and stuff.
Yeah.
It was called Chicken and Pickin'.
Chicken and Pickin'. I put us at SeaWorld doing that.
No, but they had a Chicken and Biscuits restaurant at SeaWorld as well.
And I performed there.
Right.
Yeah. But we did everything at SeaWorld. We were the Christmas band, that group, the trio, the quartet.
Yeah.
The Mismade Girl.
You were also, Lynn Fry knows you as Lindy.
And Lindy. Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that is, but he said he recognized you as Lindy right off the bat.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, Lindy was the 12-year-old.
Oh, really?
With pigtails.
The blessed 12-year-old.
That was on the film on the screen and then she appeared live. It was a very good show, actually.
Yeah, was that a magic show?
No, then the magic show was at 9.
Oh, okay.
So when that show did 4 or 5 shows, or no, probably 6 or 7 shows a day.
Uh-huh.
And then that show would go down and then Harry Lovecraft would come out.
Very cool.
Yeah. So and I was fortunate enough to get to do that too. I learned a lot as far as illusions are concerned. Anyway.
Which she has sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it. All right, so here we are. So I just cleansed her skin very well. I'm not seeing any makeup coming up. So I'm going to do easy extractions. Just ones that are just ready to go right now.
Easy extractions like,
Easy
as in
extractions.
Dr. Pimple Popper? That kind of thing.
Yes.
Madison watches that.
Oh, yes.
She's getting her own TV show on
I
Mattisen.
know.
Oh,
Or
my
it's already on.
It's already on. I
goodness.
watched
So
an episode.
funny.
Isn't that a TV show of watching like gross things
Oh,
come
my
out of people's
goodness
skin?
gracious. Well,
So that's what you're going to do now?
yes, I rearranged my drawer so I don't have my glasses in, so I have to wear these the whole time.
Attractive.
Don't make
Pretty.
fun of me. Last week you pulled my hair back like I needed a face wash.
No.
It was funny. I'll put my bangs out like this though.
There you go.
How's that?
You have bangs. That's it.
Oh, bangs, yes.
It's all you.
Right. So I'm gonna now. If you guys are into this, watch. If you're not into it, then go let the dog out or something.
I might have to do an extreme close-up on this.
Okay, go ahead. We can die.
Madison, do you mind?
So look, we pull the tissue in half, and then we just wrap our fingers. Okay. Well, if somebody else can have an extreme pop of tipping, is that okay?
I'm not going to get extreme.
Oh, you're not okay.
No.
So.
Now, when I was a kid, I had always learned, don't do this
Right.
because it'll scar and it'll be bad. And
That's right.
What
So
are your
don't, because they're right. But if you have a professional.
I was going to say, but you're doing it.
Right, or if a professional shows you how. So the key is to make sure your skin's really, really soft. And you can do that in the shower.
Uh-huh.
Some places use steam. I'm not a big fan of steam because you've got to be really careful. You're going to be spreading a lot of bacteria. And
Yeah.
It's water, and it's in a warm place, a warm environment. So I just do it with water, or I have a disincrustation lotion I can use. But we're not going to do a whole lot of that because I am going to definitely do a beta hydroxypill. I hear you breathing harder. Are
Just
you
taking
okay?
a deep breath.
Oh, okay. All right. So there we go. So there are a couple of these that are just ready to go. We might as well clear them out. You okay?
Mhm.
She's taking a deep breath because she doesn't want me to stop.
Mhm.
All right. We got a couple more. And then we're going to get on it. So a glycolic salicylic. So this is going to be a salicylic only peel. You can have a glycolic and salicylic mixed together, but that's going to be too aggressive.
Now, Gigi, how long have you been doing facials?
I was licensed in September 2001.
Uh-huh.
And I got my license. It took a couple years to do the transition from singing full time to being an esthetician. But by 2003, I pretty much was. Well, that's
You
when
had
I got
made the
job.
transition?
Yeah, because I was hired as director of education for a distribution company.
Oh, no kidding.
And boy, I was the director of education. I learned so much. Because for me to do that, he had to send me out to get all these certifications.
Right.
And it was great. It was great. I was very, very fortunate. So I'm going to put that there. That's fine.
It's tough being the dad, seeing my child
I'm
have blood
sorry.
come up on her face.
Well,
That's a good thing. It means all the infection is out.
there you go. So I'm just doing a couple more looks. All right, sorry. There we go. So yeah, so see, she's so beautiful. It doesn't really matter, but so there's just a little bit of congestion here, just some clogged pores, and they're closed. I mean, they're open comedones. Those are easy. Those will just come right out. So I'm not gonna mess with those. And let's see what this is here.
Now, you say you're a big fan of Biore strips, too.
I am. They're great. I've used them before as an esthetician,
Really?
and they worked great. So, Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this AHA. We're gonna do this DHA peel. And when you're doing any type of chemical peel, you do it and it's all over. You can't do a lot of rubbing on the skin or anything to irritate the skin, because it's already had a big shock by this chemical that we just put on there.
Mm-hmm.
So this doesn't take very long. That's one of the good things. And what Mattisen has to be careful of is anything aggressive. So she has to be careful with the treatments or products that she uses tonight and tomorrow. Absolutely no sun, but she's not on sun anyway. And I'm going to talk to her about all those things afterwards. And if anybody has any questions, just contact me. You can either text me, go to my website, and contact me through there, or call me.
Now, I'm going to distract you a little bit while you're doing this and just ask you a question. Of the products that you have, and this is not hard sell, but I am going to ask you this. What should people use daily? What do you use daily?
So you want to use a cleanser?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you about a toner in a second, but you want to use a cleanser and an SPF. Then you want to use a cleanser at night and a nighttime moisturizer. Absolutely, you have to have an SPF, and you have to have a nighttime moisturizer, and you have to cleanse.
Cool.
All right. So the other things we add into that is if you need a toner for some reason, that's a tool, or an astringent. An astringent is something we're definitely going to use here because it has astringent properties to it, which will help with any type of breakout. The other things that I think is absolutely a must when you hit in your 30s is topical application of vitamin C. You hear me talk about it all the time.
Yep.
But it absolutely, we know that it does stimulate collagen production as long as you're using it and we're using it. So if I put vitamin C on my face, I'm not going to get collagen, in my arm.
Right.
It's just where it's not going to travel through your body.
Right.
And then the other thing, when we get into our 40s, we need to use a retinal product. So that doesn't mean Retin-A, that means a retinal product, like a retinal palmitate. And that is going to accelerate the cellular turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So in our 20s.
And that helps with anti-aging?
It helps with, everything. We want those, in our 20s, the cells are nice and plump and they're moving to the surface and flattening out, and we're exfoliating them away. Our body doesn't naturally fuss if we use an exfoliator. By the time we're 40, that happens about every 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we're 40, they're turning over about every 40 days. So you get this nice, plump, thick cell that goes like this, and it travels to the top slowly, just kind of hangs there. So we want to accelerate that and get them out.
Gotcha.
The other thing, this is kind of talking very broad here, we don't want cells that are trying to exfoliate and go away to be hanging around.
Yeah.
Because they just need to.
They're just dying cells, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk some more about anti-aging next week. I
Yes.
kind of want to make a whole program about that next week.
It is an important. I mean, I'm very so passionate about acne conditions,
Mm-hmm.
especially kids. And by the way, if you have a child out there that has an acne situation, I highly discount those appointments because they may need to come every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For a while, and it gets expensive. So we will discount those appointments for you. Just
Tell me about this. A lot of people, they'll get on a treatment program for acne, and they'll go, oh, I got on that program. It made my acne worse.
Yeah.
Isn't that a natural thing? Shouldn't it happen that way?
A natural thing.
Is it supposed to happen that it gets worse?
No, I mean, sometimes everything seems like it gets worse before it gets better.
I felt like it was like drawing out all the gunk.
That's right. And she will have some impurities that will come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
She might not even notice them. Because they're going to be, it'll just be a little bit of sebum or just maybe some skin that's going to come to the surface as an impurity, but it'll go away. What you're referring to is people that are using way too much benzoyl peroxide.
Is that what it is?
That is it. You don't want to use any more than 2.5% morning and night. So that's 5% daily. That is it. It is so tough on the skin.
Yeah.
It's just too aggressive, and it will take an irritated situation and make it worse.
Mattisen tried, what is the one that they advertise and they're like, it's a miracle product and you have to order it?
Is it Proactive?
Proactive.
I shouldn't be talking about it, but I do. I hate it.
Really?
And the biggest problem with Proactive is that it had up to 10% benzoyl peroxide daily. Twice a day.
What was your experience with that, Mattisen?
It worked the first couple of days, and then my acne started to go right back to where it was, and on top of that, my skin was flaking.
Wow, your skin was flaking. So it was acting as a peel might, and it's a topical product. So if I want to use a product that's has some alpha hydroxy acid in it, I'm going to put somebody on a glycolic moisturizer. It's terrific because it exfoliates daily.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. But we don't need benzoyl peroxide doing that. So I have just used an astringent that has 2% salicylic acid in it to just kind of clean up the area because I want to get rid of any bacteria. Now I'm going to use a prep white that has it's a low pH. It's going to bring the pH of your skin down very low. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to put the 12.5% salicylic peel. Now the treatment products that I use are not Gigi Thomas Aesthetics. Sometimes I use my stuff. For the peels and oxygen, I use a brand called Circadia. So it's Circadia by Dr. Pugliese. Very, very good. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right.
We're going to get back to this in just a second. I'm going to check the video and then we'll start back in a little bit.
So here we go. When we apply any type of peel, there's a certain level of discomfort. It could be on a scale from 1 to 10. It could be a 2 or 3, depending on the person, or up to maybe a 10.
So what's it going to do? Is it going to like sting a little bit? Is that what
It's going to sting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels itchy. The lactic acid's going to feel itchy, but the salicylics are going to sting a little bit. And when I remove it, that's when it's really going to sting, because it reactivates.
You ready, Madison?
So here we go. So I'm getting my brush. Hold on. I'm not ready. I didn't put enough product in there. Sorry, folks.
So how long do you leave it on?
Not long.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's in an alcohol base, so it heats up pretty fast. So probably maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. So here we go. All right. Now she's also going to feel a little hot because she has some open lesions here. Lesions, I mean anything where the skin's kind of.
Where you just did that.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Right. So how's this feeling?
It feels fine.
Are you feeling any tingle at all?
Oh, sorry.
That's
Like over in my forehead area.
Right here, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she would, because I did extractions there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oftentimes, if you're someone who we're looking at anti-aging, we would actually do microdermabrasion and then do this on top of it.
Yeah.
That's a great treatment, man. It's great. And that's what most of my clients get that. They come out every 6 weeks and we do it.
Yeah?
Do I have hair caught in the mask?
I'm sorry. Caught in the mask?
Yeah, like up here, do I have any little hairs caught?
Does it?
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, you did. Right, you did. Does that feel better?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, they're great treatments. And that gives you 6 a year.
Yeah.
That's all you'd want to do. Yeah, it's great. All right, so you feeling anything yet, or are you still okay?
A little tingly.
Little that's what I want to hear. A little tingling. And she looks great.
It's maybe like a 0.5 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
0.5, not 5.
Oh, 0.5.
Yeah,
Oh,
0.5.
she's so tricky. Well, that's it. Oh, sorry. That's good. But that's, it's, her skin looks great. It doesn't mean it's not working. Just, And actually, oftentimes with the lighter complexion, they don't have as much a reaction as someone with a darker complexion.
Oh, really?
Because they don't have as much pigment in their skin.
Ah.
So it's just, my daughter can't take it. But
Really?
She has that Italian,
Right.
Indian, caramel color skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's like, 10, 11, 12, 13, get it off. So I'm not massaging, I'm just kind of pushing this in. So this isn't supposed to be therapeutic. This is just.
It feels good though.
That's good. All right, so we're going to let that just kind of sit there for a second. I'm watching her feet, see if she's twitching her toes, which means that it's tingling. And sometimes clients do that.
Well,
how's it feeling? It feels fine. I put their feet in. Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. This would be a good time for you guys to talk. I heard you talking about cleaning brushes a while ago.
Yes.
So that would be a good time for Madison to talk about it.
Okay, so I wash my brushes about once a week. However, if you use a beauty blender sponge to apply foundation or a foundation brush, you should be washing it after every single use. But I know that sounds tedious, but if you don't want bacteria and nasty stuff growing on your makeup brushes, then it's necessary. And that bacteria not only can cause breakouts, but it can cause infections and it can cause premature aging.
She rocks.
She's been doing this stuff a while. I'll tell you a story. You know, we do the Gigi's going to be at the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators in 4 weeks.
Excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. No, the first year we did it, I impersonated Austin Powers, and I had 2 girls to come and be my Shagadelic girls for the very first convention we had back in 2004. One of them pulled out her makeup that she used for her character as a Shagadelic girl, and she had not used it in a while. And she put all this makeup on her face, and I don't know about her sponges and everything, but her face broke out.
Oh my goodness.
And this was the week before her wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Makeup actually does expire, and most makeup, if you turn it over, somewhere on the packaging, on the back, on the bottom, it'll have a little tiny picture, like a jar with a number on it. So if it says like 12 months, that means it will expire 12 months from opening.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So even if there's not a date that we see, that little jar tells us 12 months from the time you open it. So the time that air's hitting it and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
You can get away more with, you can get away more time with powders, but when it comes to cream makeups, lipsticks, once you hit that mark, you should toss it. Or if it starts to smell.
Right. So I'm sorry that I started doing this right as she was speaking, but I'm seeing some sign of it being ready and you take it off. So I just needed to get that done. So
that's most important.
is it tingling a little bit for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this water is very cold, and when you're doing something like this, you want to make sure you have your water ready and the sponge is ready, because you don't want to have.
So do you just take some ice cubes and put in the water over there? Yeah.
So I have filtered water, and then I put some ice cubes in it. Filtered ice cubes too. So I love the way her skin looks. It feels, it's like slick. So that just means we've just removed all the buildup that was on top of the surface of the skin. And the other thing I like is that it's just not real. It's red in a couple places, but the rest of her skin isn't. It's only red where there is an acne lesion, or I've done a peel. Done extraction. But where the rest of the places, skin looks great. So her skin handled this very, very well.
Good.
If she was red all over, then
that'd be bad.
well, yeah. It would be okay. I can settle it down. I can calm it down, but it's not our goal. All right, so now I'm going to neutralize. How are you? Where is it tingling the most? All over?
Everywhere, yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and neutralize right away and get that.
And that just stops the tingling right off the bat. That stops the activation of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And actually, the salicylic, they're self-neutralizing. But in the state of Florida, because of all the humidity, we give it a little extra punch. Yeah, that's that. That's the water in this product.
What did it feel like, Madison?
It was like a quick little sting, but it dissipated fast.
That's the water reactivates that salicylic.
Yeah.
Like a little lightning bolt.
There you go, a little lightning bolt.
I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. So this is good. Her skin looks
Oh, I
good.
can.
These are great. This is a great tool. It is just drying everything up, killing the bacteria that's on the surface of the skin, penetrating a little bit also to kill the bacteria. Sorry, babe.
Oh no, it just surprised me.
Yeah. Okay. You all right?
Well, apparently it does it instantly.
Pretty much.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's zapping everything right now.
It's a surprise.
Sorry.
Is it just vibrating, or is it like an
I'll
electrical?
let you feel it. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just like a teeny tiny little like shock.
Shock. So I had a male client, of course, that literally jumped off the table.
What did you mean by that?
Y'all are such sissies. You can't do anything to you guys. You're like, nee, that hurts.
We could do childbirth if it were a thing.
Not even for a second. Right, come on,
They
let's
have
slide.
simulators.
Do the,
We just had to switch cameras.
Are we on again?
Well, you're on again.
All right, beautiful.
Okay.
So now I'm going to do a post-peel balm. Now, one of the active ingredients of this is actually cocoa. Cocoa is very calming to the skin.
Really?
It is. It's very calming. And I actually haven't so much anymore. Well, I need to buy some more, I guess. But I used to keep it. Just some just some cocoa mix here, because then if I needed to quickly calm someone's skin down, I could just mix it with some water real fast. And baking soda does the same thing. But
Cool.
we like the smell of cocoa.
We had to switch cameras, but we were carrying on a conversation about how funny looking some of the instruments Gigi uses. And there's no getting around that. They're all the same.
And I didn't design them or pick them out to look like that. It's just a coincidence.
Now, I got to tell you, right here, I can tell a difference in
yeah.
her skin from when she first came in
That's
here.
terrific. I
Yeah.
love hearing that. So what you're seeing is, first of all, her skin looks really good. It's very glowy and it's soft. I mean, her makeup's just going to glide on.
Yay.
This is just all calmed down. I mean, it's red.
It's all calmed down.
I'm
That's what it
touching
looks like.
But it's not as, it's just not as irritating. Now, again, this was a controlled injury. So, she may have a little, you're not going to really have any irritation. You might have a little bit of a flaking through here.
Mm-hmm.
But again, with it being a controlled injury, it's just going to repair more and more. So in 2 or 3 days, her skin will look better than it does right now. So that is the end of the post-peel balm. After a treatment like this, we can't touch the skin a lot, so she's not going to get a massage. And I'm going to now do a little eye treat cream, and then she has to have an SPF. Cannot go out without one, especially after a treatment like this.
Now, I know you recommend your product for the SPF, but between your product and something that they would buy at the store or at the mall, there's not much of a price difference, and
No, there's not.
there's a lot more care and thought put into your product.
There is, and the biggest thing, and I will put this out there so you guys can all see it, I'll put it on the Facebook pages, is we have a new formulation of zinc oxide. So with this different formulation of zinc oxide, which starts out as a serum instead of heavy cream, we can go up higher to a 30. Because really, anything higher than a 30 SPF on the face is going to be problematic.
Oh, really?
It does cause some irritation to the skin sometimes, and definitely clogs the pores. So I used to recommend a 15 only and just constantly apply. With my product, it's a 30 SPF because of the new formulation. She will not have any kind of residual clogging of the pores. And then I have a really good client and friend. Her name is Sandy. Every time she uses it out at the beach, she takes a picture and puts it on Facebook. I love that because it's like none.
Really?
Everybody around her, they're red. She's like, eh.
That's awesome.
And she says, "This is Gigi Thomas Aesthetics." Yeah, SPF. So it's terrific. I love that. And this is it. It is Advanced Protection SPF 30. And you will see that it looks like the other SPFs, but it is, as far as the ingredients, but it is a new formulation. You want to see it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Now,
Now, I put enough here. This is enough for her.
Okay.
So, I just, overdid it. So this is enough like for her face and her décolleté and everything else.
Or what?
Her décolleté, her chest area.
Okay. I've never heard that word
Décolleté?
before.
Really?
Décolleté. No.
Yeah, it
The
means like
décolleté.
where your collarbone is. That area.
I wonder if that's where the word Dickie came from. Like
Oh,
where
you're
the
so but probably. I don't know.
men used to wear the Dickies on their shirts.
I have a funny story about my dog.
Okay.
I'll tell.
Yeah.
Right, so she went to class with me one time this summer, and she was in the back of the room, and she's on her computer or something. She was still in high school, so this was like 2006 or something. And one of the students, and these weren't students, like a student, these are salon owners that are bringing in product, and they have to be educated on it. So one of them said, well, is this also to treat the décolleté? And when she said that, my eyes just went to my daughter, and my daughter went, And then I heard her say, or I saw her say, "Do you want cream with your coffee?" She's so smart. She's just a
Dick latte.
big latte.
See, that's not even right.
So that is, you look great.
Thank you.
So what I will let Mattisen do is go in the bathroom, wash her hands, and then I
Uh-huh.
want her to feel her skin. I want her to go
Very cool.
and feel how,
Okay.
see how it feels. You look good, girl.
Thank you.
I'll see her again in 2.5 weeks.
All
We'll
right.
do it again.
Bye.
Bye. Are we gone?
No, not
Oh,
necessarily.
okay. Do you want to get up on camera, or do you want him to? She's so cute. Go ahead. Go to the restroom, wash your hands. She's really cute.
So when somebody finishes up with a facial, do you give them instructions on what they should do when
I
they
do.
go home? Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I'm going to give Mattisen some instructions because we need to talk about the products she's using.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to kind of be long and involved, so we're not going to film that. But we're going to go over what she's using and what I think she needs to hold off on, maybe use it later,
Mhm.
and what I think she needs to add. Now, what I want her to use is the Dermabrasion. I'm sorry, I want her to use the DermaCleanse cleanser. That's 2% salicylic acid. I want her to use the astringent. That's 2%. So there's 4% salicylic acid. That's 8% a day, and that's a perfect amount.
Oh.
I want her to use the Sage and Citrus Moisturizer at nighttime because it's going to give her a little astringent activity because it's
Mhm.
grapefruit extract and different type of fruit, things like that. And of course, she's going to use the SPF.
Oh.
And that's it for now.
Okay. Well, next week we're going to talk about. I want you had mentioned you want to do it, and I think that's a good idea too to talk more about anti-aging.
Yes, we
So,
do need to talk about
And we'll
it.
have a little more fun next week. This was very clinical this
Yes,
week,
it
but it
was.
was still fun.
Yeah, girl, they missed the funnest part.
Yeah.
It was funner. Legally Blonde was on TV this week.
We got a little more in the adult era of things. Well, she's going to be 21 next month. Can you believe that?
She ignored us completely.
Yeah. But she did great. So anyway, I'm going to come over here.
Okay, good. And say goodbye to the folks.
Right. So Gigi says I don't talk enough about myself. So I
Yes,
will
please,
say,
here, you want to
no,
sit
I'm
down?
good. I'm good.
Can they see you?
I'll come down here. I think they
Please
can.
do.
But we've got the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators coming up in 4 weeks. It's the days that are open to the public are Friday and Saturday, August 31st and September 1st. Gigi's going to be there those days.
Yep.
So she's going to have a booth there. And you'll see lots of, it'll be weird. It'll be weird in a very good way. You may see Whoopi Goldberg walking around, holding hands with George Bush and talking.
It's really
never-
very good. Now, can people go to the Sunburst to your to your Facebook page and look at that stuff?
Yes, if you go to you can go to Sunburst Showcase of Celebrity Impersonators. That's the actual showcase that's open to the public. And then we also have a group called the Sunburst Convention of Celebrity Impersonators that we post in there. It's a lot of fun, really crazy people. So
It's great. I mean, I've been looking and I'm seeing all these stars.
yeah, we got Tom
Oh,
Cruise
my
coming. We
goodness.
got Tim McGraw, President Bush, President Obama. We have a few Marilyn Monroes, a couple of Anne Margarets. We even got
Oh,
Amy
yes.
Winehouse this year. So.
Oh, great.
And of course Elvis. So
What,
anyway,
is that you?
no.
No. Tell them who you do.
Oh, I do Austin Powers and Jack Sparrow, but I usually don't dress at the
No, you
convention.
can't. You're too busy.
I'm too busy.
Running around.
Anyway, that's
All
it.
right.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to GigiThomasAesthetics.com if you need any of this stuff.
Yes.
And
Or
call
me. Go ahead. I'll do
Pitch
it.
poke you
Or
in the
you-
face. Bye, y'all.
I can't even finish what I was gonna say.